What's going on, guys? TK back with another video. So today we got some pretty crazy news when it comes to the play Pokemon events, the actual VGC events in real life. And for the rest of the season, these rule sets are set in stone for the 2023 VGC season. Before we get into the video, don't forget to like and subscribe. Trying to grow my channel, like I said in the past few videos, so all the support is appreciated. But yeah, let's get into the new rules. So if you go, I'm gonna leave the link to this in the description below, but I think it's on page 5, I believe. This right here is huge. So if you guys didn't look at the first tournament, it was the limitless VGC tournament. They actually did a open team sheet format, and there's a lot of controversy around this because usually in Pokemon, like when you go to like an event, you play without knowing your opponent's. Obviously in the team preview you can see the Pokemon they bring, but you wouldn't know anything. You wouldn't know the items, you wouldn't know, in this case, terrestrialization, you wouldn't know move sets or anything like that. But now, and I'll get into more of the nuance of like why you could argue that that's a good thing. But me personally, I like this. But anyway, the thing is, I kind of like this for terrestrialization because of the surprise factor of the terrestrial type. People were arguing that we should at least be able to see the terrestrial type of the opponent because there's 18 types for all Pokemon, right? So it's just, you cannot prepare for every single Terra type, right? It's impossible. You can't prepare for that. You can't really play solid because you just don't know, right? But now you see that information plus the move sets and stuff like that. So people could argue that before you had to like gain the knowledge, like you would know the Pokemon, but then you would have to write down, like when your opponent makes a move, write down that opponent, like their opponent's move set, right? Or the opponent's Pokemon's moves, excuse me. And then you could argue that that's a skill, trying to gain knowledge and for a best of 3 format. But what I think is, when you know what your opponent wants to do, and when you know what your opponent has, and you know your opponent knows what you have, it kind of forces you to play more solid, right? You're not worried about your gimmicks or you're like trying to catch your opponent off guard. You now know that your opponent sees everything that you have. So now it's like, okay, it puts more stress on you, but I think that stress is good because it forces more solid play. Now, I could argue that when it comes to a viewer perspective, it could be kind of like, it can't be as fun because the viewers want to see that chaos, right? They want to see that people get surprised or whatever. Oh, he terrestrialized this Pokemon into dark, so it can't be prankstered or something like that. And you didn't know your opponent was going to do that because you didn't know the terrestrial type. And that could be funny for the viewer. But I think more solid play is actually more respectable. Forcing more solid play is more respectable in a tournament sense, and it forces better play, right? So I think for the viewer perspective, it's worse, but for the player perspective, it's better, right? And if the viewers understand that solid play is more respectable than gimmicky play, right? Or trying to catch your opponent off guard, things could be better. But you know how people on the internet are. They want to see chaos, right? So I think this is good as a player perspective, but I think for a viewer perspective, it's actually, the viewer experience goes down. I think it's still okay if I think it's still all right. Like, I think it still be fun to watch. I just think for the viewer perspective, less surprises mean less, upsets and less, surprise factor or more, less fun for the viewer. But me personally, I like this change. I know a lot of people are going to dislike this change. You could argue that it takes the skill out of, like I said, revealing moves to your opponent in a best of 3, but I'd argue that it just forces more solid play. So yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. How you guys feel about this. For me, I'm excited. For others, I know y'all might have mixed opinions, but yeah, if you like this video, like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Okay, peace.